All of your characters are going to be in Icewind Dale. Like, we're not starting off with you traveling in. That being said, some of you may want to say like you've lived there your whole lives, and some may want to do something like a little bit more flavorful, that maybe you came in like a few years ago or even more recently. But basically, Icewind Dale and the Frozen North has been on lockdown for about the last 4 years or so. You guys have all been dealing with that one way or another. Um, One of the things to think about tonight as you're talking about your characters and what you want to be is, how do you want to know each other? I think that this would probably make the most sense if all of you are kind of aware of each other, as opposed to having to like meet each other and figure it out. But that you can do what you will with that. Um, One of the other things that this particular adventure starts with is the ability for your characters to start with secrets. Some secrets are bad, like really bad. Some secrets are less bad, like less bad. All secrets, with the exception of one, have something cool that can come out of it. And a secret is something that, like, in the first adventure, you could tell everybody about, or it could be something you keep secret for a long time and never reveal. If you decide that you want to take a secret, there will be a d20 rolled, and whatever number comes up on the list, that's what you'll get. If multiple people get the same number, you'll get the next one on the list, and basically that's how we'll work through it. So that's the area. You know each other. Secrets, backgrounds. The manual gives some like ways that you can tweak the character backgrounds into being very specifically from Icewind Dale. For example, like Acolyte. If that's the case, you can say that the god of Winter's Fury has cast a spell, and you can bring hope and faith for the people of Ten Towns, because you're seeking to free them from Winter's cold embrace. It doesn't give you any benefits, but if you're having a hard time figuring out like how your particular background fits into the Frozen North, we can talk about it, and there's a list of possibilities in the guide. I think most of you are very creative people that won't have that as a problem, but it's there if you need it. The other thing, the two other things that I want to touch base, actually there's a couple of them, sorry. The first one is, some characters and their classes will say that you can start with trinkets. They literally do nothing for you. They're just like, something cool that you can have. If you're interested in an Icewind Dale specific trinket, we can do that. Let me know what you're looking for, and we'll either figure it out or do whatever. But it's not going to affect gameplay in any real way, shape, or form. Encumbrance is a thing in this game, so keep that in mind, because travel is very slow. Even though like the region is relatively small as you start off, like between the 10 towns, traveling, for example, traveling by dog sled is 1 mile per hour. And if it's 10 miles, it's going to take you 10 hours on a dog sled, and that's the fastest you can travel, basically.
Yeah, it's pretty rough.
Yeah. So it's definitely like an element that I think we as players, specifically Kevin and TJ, may not have like experience to this point. But there are roles, there are et cetera things that go with that. So that's one thing. And then the other things, and this is for mainly for characters that haven't played in games that I've run before. Magical items. If you cast detect magic and figure out that something's magic because it glows, I'm not going to make anybody cast identify spells or find a wizard to cast identify on. It's going to be an Arcana roll. If it's and basically it's going to be a 15, 20, or 25. If the item is up to rare, a 15 will identify it. If it's very rare, a 20 will identify it. And if it's like legendary or like an artifact of some kind, you'll have to roll pretty high to know what it is, unless you have some like specific knowledge about it. Along those same lines, the 10-town area, since you're all basically area, I want to give you guys the ability to just have basic knowledge of where you're from. So if you have a question that's not just super general in nature, you're like, hey, who's the guard of Bremen, or like that's specific. But if you're like in which direction do I have to go if I want to get somewhere, and you're stuck in a storm, you're going to know that kind of thing. But same thing, there'll be intelligence checks that you can roll to either remember something or to come up with an idea that maybe you as a player don't know, but your character would. And so I think that this is a good facilitating way of not getting to the point of being like, well, I don't know what we're supposed to do. Like, who do we talk to about this? And then the other thing that's an interesting thing that they've added is there are rumors. So role playing in a tavern, you can talk to people and they will probably tell you stuff and things. If you don't want to do that, or the people you talk to haven't told you anything new, and you're at a point in the game where you're like, shit, I don't know what we're supposed to do next, you can make a D10 roll, and you as players will become aware of another rumor that perhaps you could investigate. The rumors usually in this game lead to quests. Completing those quests get you levels, yada yada yada. In Roll20, you guys as players have a journal that I've created. If you click on the thing that looks like a newspaper, the third icon over, right at the top, there should be one that says quests and rumors. You'll open it up and it just says quest and rumor. Each of you have the ability to add things to that, write things down. So if you guys take a quest, you can jot it under quest. If you guys hear a rumor, but you're not going to act on it right now, you can jot it under rumor. And this is just a way that, like, as a group, you can keep a note that anybody can go back and look at and be like, oh shit, that's right, we haven't looked into the fill in the blank. And not make it have to be so bad that if you're like, do a recap and everybody goes, you know what, I don't fucking remember. That we were awake until like midnight and I don't remember the thing right now. So this is just an easy, convenient way of making that a little easier. And so with that being said, I think that was most of the housekeeping to like have a chat with everybody about. So the floor is yours. If you have questions, I'll answer them. If you otherwise, talk and let me know what you're going to play as characters.
Cool. I kind of have a hook already in this area. I have a tiefling bard that finished up Rise of Tiamat, and he's actually taken permanent residence in the White Dragon lair up there. So the character I want to bring is the Kalishtar sorceress. She's basically an assistant that the bard is sent out when he hears that you guys need help.
Okay, I think we might modify that to a bit. Like maybe it's like the tiefling has sent this Kalishar. Is it Kalishar? Kalishar. I'm sorry.
Kalishtar, KL. Yeah, it's a cool race.
Okay, so maybe the K got sent out to like sort of spread your wings and see what you can do, and that's how this person or this creature bumped into the party kind of thing, as opposed to like I don't want to say that there's somebody who knows about this party yet, but we can kind of like hash that and as the adventure continues. But I like it.
Yeah. As far as a trinket, I'd like to request something that I think is going to be pretty hilarious as we go along.
Okay.
I'd like for her to have a ring that looks like a ring of warmth. It's all fuzzy and whatnot, but it's not magical. But she is convinced that this is a magical ring of warmth, and nobody can tell her any different. She justifies it somehow.
Okay, I like it. So she's got a fake ring of warmth that she feels she just hasn't figured out like the activation button.
No, she thinks it works because it's psychosomatic. She has it on. She has warm clothes on. Therefore, it's the ring doing the work.
Okay, all right.
Which means there's a possibility somebody may be able to convince her to take the warm clothes off and go dance around in the snow.
Okay, all right. I love players who give me the ability to just be evil whenever I want. So good job. I kid, unless I'm not, and you'll never know until I make it happen. But what class is this character, or are you still working that out? Is it the sorcerer?
Right now, she's a sorceress, divine soul.
And we had talked about that, like once the basic material comes out, you want to adapt that, and I'm fine with that because you're calling it right now, so totally fine with that.
Yeah, and I guess Kevin, you played 4E with us, and I played my Kalishtar Navakri.
Possibly. There were so many characters.
Yeah. Well, the reason I loved because when she got up to higher level, she was a scion. She had a power called Dishearten, which would any creature that she hit with it would get a -10 penalty to the first attack roll and a -8 penalty afterwards.
That's I don't know if 5e has magnitude, but that's pretty awesome. That is pretty awesome. Oh, this reminds me of something that I want to throw out there. Kevin and TJ are aware of this too. So when you guys do level up, I like to give you guys an additional option for hit points. So obviously, first level you get max whatever your hit die are, but when you level up, you can either take the half plus your con modifier, or you can roll. And if you choose to roll, I like to give the players a chance to additional bonus. So you roll and I roll, you get to take the better of the two rolls. So if it's a D8 and you roll a 1 and I roll an 8, you actually get it. But if we both roll the same number, we have to roll again, and that's just a way to make it interesting. Some players want to do that, some players don't. It's an option that's out there, but I like putting that out there for players to think about. But
Another thing, when we level, Tom has it so we don't get the effects of it until we rest. A long rest.
that's right. Yep. So like if you complete a mission and I'm like, okay, and we're using a milestone for this, but when you complete a mission, I will let you know that you guys have leveled up. But your new abilities, hit points, etc., won't take effect until after you've had a long rest. Good call, Kevin. I forgot about that. But all right, cool. And so, Mike, we've got a sorceress, divine soul. Is anybody else like, damn it, I was going to be a divine soul sorceress, or does everybody think that's a cool addition to the party?
It's the only one so far, so.
Right. I don't think it fits.
That
Yeah,
he is
get
the
out.
party.
Get out. he is the party.
It's like, wait, the first block doesn't fit yet. It doesn't work. That's not good. Sorry, Mike. I can't play with that.
I was just imagining somebody was listening going, God damn it, that's exactly what I was gonna do. But all right, cool. So we got one in the bag. One in the bag. What else do we have? Who else?
Well,
do we have?
it was either that, a tabaxi named Puss, or a gnome artificer named Lego.
Oh shit! What is her name? If you told me, I didn't write it down. I'm sorry.
Novakri, Novakri.
Rockery. Okay. Do you have a nickname or like anything short?
No, but I guess you could call her Cree.
Okay, that's cool. All right, who wants to go next?
I'm going to apologize in advance because I have been out of these games for so long. I just started playing again, and I got the invite from Tom. So I'm planning on just something simple, but I didn't want to. I have a couple ideas that I was playing with on build. I just wanted to see what everybody else was thinking, so that I'm not overlapping with anything.
All right, throw it out there. What do you got?
Well, I had like a Minotaur Barbarian, a Goliath Fighter, and a Warforged Cleric of the Forge.
So I just want you to know those are all things that we have played with in other games. So like those are all cool things. So which
Goliath
of those three?
Fighter. Because you have cold resistance with weather.
Yep.
That might be. That's my input. I know you don't have cold resistance, but to weather you do.
I
So
know Warforged of the Forge, I think gets fire resistance, which I don't think is going to come
Eventually.
in as much, but still, yeah. The game we were playing, like, and then we stopped playing to play this. I was a Warforged Cleric of the Forge, and it was fun.
So the one thing I will say that there are two Goliath tribes in the Frozen North, and as a player, you don't have to decide right now. But if you want, you can be connected to one of them, or not at all. but there, as with anything in any D&D game, there are sort of hooks that come along with whatever your choices are.
Yeah, that's fine.
And what I can do is I'll email you like your choices with that, and you can pick like and either make it known late or sooner, whatever you want. But cool. So it sounds like are you gonna go with Goliath fight?
I'm not sure. I have been playing around with the characters and writing some stuff up, and spent the last couple of days discussing with my brother, who's been playing for forever.
Okay.
As far as different types of builds and what to expect, and what works, what doesn't work, that kind of stuff.
Yeah. Well, it sounds like whatever the case is, like you're definitely going to be like a melee character for it in one way or another. So that's cool. All right.
Yes.
And then let's see if we can well, by the time we get done with this tonight, try to if you can, pick one and let me know what it is.
Oh, absolutely.
Or let us know. All right. So who else wants to throw something else out there?
I got a halfling rogue named Low-Key Half-Height. And I want to say that he got trapped here during quarantine and really wants to go to a warmer place.
Okay.
And he has a charlatan background and being a rogue and everything, and not really wanting to work. I'm going to try to pickpocket a lot.
Okay. It's interesting. I just looked over, and the charlatan background says, your cons and deceptions nearly got the better of you. You needed to disappear for a while, and Icewind Dale was the perfect place to do so. However, nothing could prepare you for the dark desolation, but at least there's money to be made. And it sounds like you just walked right down that path with your description.
Perfect. That's great.
Okay.
Okay. So I have options. So I went spellcaster. I think if we've got the sorcerer, I think I'll throw this out there just for you guys. One of my ideas was a tiefling wizard, but if we have a sorcerer, it's different stats. So I mean, if we're cool with having the one caster, I'm cool with just kind of going, all right, we'll go with the sorcerer, the heavy caster. But we've got a tiefling wizard who's really old, kind of think Deckard Cain. He's not going to be very strong, and he's going to be asking people for help with carrying stuff. But he's very practiced in the arts. We've got 2 goblins. We've got an artificer who specializes in alchemy and explosives. And then we have a bard who tells everyone that he is a cursed gnome to try and have people just ignore the fact that he's a goblin. He also is a freestyle rapper. Then we have another bard that is a changeling. And the last one is a summoner druid, Loxodon. And those are the elephant people.
I really feel like you have covered a number of potential bases with those options.
Basically I went with either healer or ranged kind of damage sort of thing, because I know the one role that was called out was tank. We haven't had really any druids, so I was kind of leaning towards that. I'm open to having my bards, because either of those I kind of like. I don't know if we need someone who will be talking. I'm cool with being the druid though, or because I think that one has some healing possibilities, or maybe not.
Well, don't count on my sorceress to be a warcaster. I don't even know what her new.
I wasn't planning on that.
And besides, it's what we're talking about. character up. It's me.
But I like how you set the bar low, and that way, whenever you do something great.
So I'm not sure if there's anything that people are thinking might be better options for the roles.
So it looks like right now the party has some kind of fighter, has a rogue for stealth, has a caster of some kind. And in my mind, that leaves like two big roles open. One is the person who's going to be the conversationalist, like you said. I mean, maybe one of the other roles is going to be really strong in something like intimidation or charisma or whatever. Or the other concept is a party healer, which it sounds like you guys currently don't have like somebody who that is their role. Again, we have all played several games. We haven't had those and just been like, those would be helpful, but whatever, we didn't need it. We figured it out. So, just observations.
Yeah, that's what I was also seeing. I'm thinking that kind of brings down. I'm thinking either one of the bards or the druid. Anyone have any thoughts?
I like the cursed gnome bard.
The what?
That's true. That's pretty good.
The cursed gnome bard. That will be hilarious to roll.
So
That
I can't. So I have the two. So which one are you saying?
the cursed gnome,
Oh, the cursed gnome. Oh, okay, perfect.
who I believe is the freestyle rapper.
He is the freestyle rapper, and his name is Squench.
And we will hold you to that, Kevin.
Oh, I expect it. All right.
Wait, I will say this, Kevin, as somebody who will be periodically called upon to do some kind of performance, you can always take the optional of, rather than having to freestyle thing, you can do a performance check. I mean, obviously it's going to be a performance check, but if you throw some nasty rhymes out, maybe there'll be like a circumstance bonus that goes along with that check,
Right.
kind of thing.
You know what would actually be kind of hilarious? A Kenku bard who can only communicate through freestyle.
It's funny because I was when I originally had made my 4th edition bard, the reason was because it was just like, what would be like one of the most ridiculous characters to have be the bard and like the one that sings? And it's like, yeah, obviously a goblin.
Obviously, I mean, just look at those teeth. They've got to be good for musical notations. All right, so we've got a sorcerer, we've got a cursed gnome, aka a goblin bard, we've got a halfling rogue, Loki half-height. It's a solid name. And by the way, is it Loki like the Norse god, or Loki like Lowkey?
Lowkey.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I saw that and I was just like, okay, I think TJ has his like perfectly done. Like he knows what he's doing. And oh man.
All right. So with that being said, Chris, work on which one you want to roll with. And does anybody currently that's part of the party right now want a secret, or do you not want a secret? It's up to you. It opens stuff up in the game for potential like other quest or adventure hooks, but it also can be detrimental depending upon what you get. So I know that when I talked to Kevin about this, he 100%
Nice.
want to do
18.
that. Yeah. Okay. All right. Well, I'll write that down. We'll do a private chat about that. But does anybody else want a secret?
I'll take one.
All right. Roll a d20. Tell me what you get.
You want it in D20 or just what?
Wherever you want. Just tell me what you rolled.
$19.
Okay. And then TJ, do you want a secret or no?
I mean, there was like a flaw that I could choose, but I don't really want a random one.
Okay. Yeah. No. It's like, again, this is the thing that is at the player's discretion. So if you don't want it, that's fine. And then Chris, I know you're still working out on your exact like racing class, but did you want a secret or no secret?
Sure.
All right. Roll d20. Tell me what you get.
9.
9. All right. All right. Kevin, private chat meeting. What you got?
Oh. Hey, how's it going?
It is going good. Okay. You rolled an 18.
Yes.
Okay. Your secret is spy.
Nice.
Harpers assigned to Icewind Dale can't rely on much support from the organization, so they're expected to look after themselves. Beldora, the character's Harper contact in Bryn Shander, which is where you're starting.
Okay.
So Beldora is a chaotic good human spy who can help steer the adventure by sharing rumors and providing helpful advice. So effectively, you have a contact point in Bryn Shander that can give you some real quality information. I mean, there may be moments when they don't know, but they might be able to give you some further insight if you're stuck. You don't.
And you said Beldora?
Beldora, Beldora.
Okay, cool. All right, so that's hilarious that I am now playing a Harper Bard in your campaign again, and I was.
I know.
I had 4 other things, and I had to roll for it, and this is what I end up with, and it's like, well, fine. All right, fine. I'll be Scene Bean, and I'll just be typecast as the bard.
Okay, and I will say that if you can do with this what you want, right? Like you can tell people about Beldora. Not like my immediate thought is that maybe Beldora was really needed help and saw you just like on a corner just for like coins in a hat or something. It was like you could be a useful asset and kind of brought you in, not thinking that was going to be, you were going to be worth anything more than that. And then, maybe you've started to shine a little bit, and she's like, I'm gonna teach people or teach him the ways, kind of thing.
Yeah.
All right. Cool. All right. Can you pull Mike into a private chat?
Yep. All right. Bye, Mike. All right.
And then I can delete Selvindar.
Now I'm sad. There goes my source.
Oh yeah, where are we gonna put like Fizzat?
I mean, because I can take all those guys out, especially if it's like
Right.
if you need it.
Did you get a subscription
What did I just do?
Yeah, I got the just the hero one.
to get multiple characters?
Yes, because I got to 6, and then I'm like, well, if I'm making another character, and it's like, it's a couple bucks. It's like, it's like 30 bucks a year or something. I was like, okay, that's not bad. So yeah, I got that one, and then I made like 40 different characters. All in Selvindar. I'm creating my army for when we return.
And then there's this guy, and then there's this guy.
Right. Shit, I didn't get them in any campaigns. They're all fucking level 1. You're all useless to me.
Well, wouldn't you want that just so you can command the characters you made?
Yeah, but I still want them to be strong.
That's true. Maybe you should just put ink in Selvindar.
I was gonna say, it's like I can just switch something, because I know that one was one where it's like, that's just kind of sitting there. Like, hey, how's it going?
Yeah.
Right,
No one wanted to join that one.
Do I want strength or intelligence to be higher?
For your bard,
Yeah. I'm assuming strength, but I don't know if we have anyone with intelligence.
my intelligence is decent, and eventually, if this character survives, I was gonna try to multi-class into wizard.
Oh no. Okay.
My goal with this character being a halfling is never roll a 1. So that means I need to get a divination wizard that can pre-roll things.
And then I'll also get the lucky feat.
Exactly. That's as soon as I hit level 4, the character is lucky, and then
I may not always succeed, but I will never fail.
and if I do roll 1 for
7
like a
ones in a row.
premonition, I know I've seen memes like that where it's like I'm a halfling, and it's like I roll a 1, ha, but I'm a halfling, and then it's like you roll another 1, it's like fuck.
Well, it's
But-
funny because my my stealth and sleight of hand are both at a +5 right now. So it's like I'm also pretty stealthy.
All right. I'm back, and then Kevin, can you
Yeah.
pull Chris over with me? Perfect.
You guys are so screwed.
Uh-oh.
That's not a good start. Here's your secret.
The
What?
ring
You guys are
is
so
explosive. It is explosive ring of warmth.
It does keep me warm one way or the other.
With
Patient.
the bodies of my enemies or friends, you know, whoever's close, basically.
Just the duration sucks, but you know, it does keep me warm.
And the smell. I mean, there is something to be said about the smell, but other than that. So, TJ, for my changeling bard, I was gonna have him wear a mask a lot of the times, and also have a cloud.
Cloud. Fucking love it.
Once I will be dull for licking. For
You're
how
lost.
else may you will lick a cloud?
Tell me there, when you kiss a woman. That. Alright. I vote against your other part. Do that one. Go back. Just play 2 cards.
just play all the bards. Because I was also gonna have him seduce whatever the prettiest thing was in like wherever we go. He would just get in the bar and just be like, "What is the most attractive thing in here other than me?" It's like that guy. It's like perfect. Would you like to taste this?
This serpent's man.
I'm also sexually open. It's funny because I had created that before I decided to make him Vega.
That's awesome. I recast my vote. So
Okay.
I don't think it wins, but
Well, now we've got
that
it.
is that's great. And I would try to convince Tom that your weapon does an extra 1d4 poison damage. And you call it the serpent's mouth.
And then pop into my.
Apparently that's like the one piece of damage that is like has the most resistance and immunities with monsters.
What, poison?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's like the one that you don't want to go into. Like,
'Cause I-
very specifically that one, don't.
Yeah, because I always saw the poison spray cantrip, and I'm like,
Eat
oh,
that.
a D12, and you're like, shit. But then it's like, oh,
Sometimes.
eventually it won't mean anything. Yeah, it's like you're actually rolling a d6.
Yeah. If,
All right.
If it matters and you roll anything.
Mhm.
Just for everybody, there is like a little additional information about your secrets that I think I'll reveal as we continue to go on, but I think it'll be cool for like role playing and some of the interaction that'll come up. But everybody knows what they've got. So good luck with that and what you do with it. And we'll give Daryl we'll give Daryl a couple more minutes because like I do have some flavor text that I want to kind of read for everybody to get going. And then Chris, have you kind of made like a call what you're going to go with?
Does anybody care?
Well, if not, we have a controversy over my bards.
Uh-oh.
In discussing, we've had a vote that was cast for the Changeling Bard. So now we've got, 1-to-1, like, definitive cast votes.
Well, I mean, like, I'm excited either way, but, like, what was the reason for the Changeling instead of the Goblin?
Well, because I told TJ that I was gonna play this character like Vega from the Pete Holmes sketch. Where he has to convince Dale to allow him to fight with his clow and his mag.
It is
I stab, I fight.
I just feel
also
that goes.
sexually open.
It just looks like. Can you not picture the small green thing just talking like that? I don't know. I think I can, but it's up to you guys as players and who you want in your party. So I leave it to you guys.
It is ultimately your choice of who you want to play as, but Kevin, I think that one's the best one, and Chris, all of those characters are great. I just think that your Goliath might handle the terrain best, but it's completely up to you.
And of course, Chris, once you make that pick, oops, sorry. No, I was just going to say, once you make that pick, we have to, you also have to give me a name for your character, which, for me is one of those things where it's either instant or I'm just like, I can't, I need like 6 weeks. I can't come up with a name right now.
Yeah, the only thing that I like the Goliath idea, but I also think, on the other hand, that the Warforged cleric, it has the healing abilities.
That's true.
That is true.
I mean, I'm good either way. Does the group have a preference?
Whatever you want to have fun with, man.
A tank healer, that's pretty great. So
It's also the DM's nightmare, but yeah.
Well, in that case, we'll go with the Warforged.
God damn it.
So
all right,
Tom's
cool. And then,
favorite
do you have
spell.
a concept for a name? You don't have to have a name.
Oh, I have a name. His name's
Okay,
Coswell.
Coswell?
Yep.
Like COS?
COD.
WAL?
Codswallop.
Oh, Wallop. Okay. All right. Awesome. And since we're just sort of like biding a little time until Daryl can jump in, does anybody have any other like specific questions about what's going on in the region, in the game, like weather related, etc., that maybe I can answer before we get going?
why is it on lockdown?
So that's part of the flavor text, but effectively, no, I'm going to say it's part of the flavor text, and then I can explain more after the fact. And so I'm going to give Daryl until like 10:05, and if he hasn't logged in, I'm going to read what I have, and then we'll go from there. And if I have to fill in the blanks after the fact for him, we'll do that. Any other questions? Okay, cool.
Why is the weather more severe than I remember it?
It's part of the flavor text. These are all great questions. I just don't want to read it all to you guys and then have Daryl come in and be like, well, actually, you know what? Fuck it. I'm excited to read this shit to you guys. So hold on. All right. So some of you, this will be sort of introduction to Tom DMing, and for others of you, you know that one of the things I love to do is kind of give the visual presentation as if it's like a movie, you know, like you're sitting in a seat watching a huge screen in front of you. So right now everybody's looking at this map, and so if we can imagine that like the camera zooms in on the spine of the world and then like just like spins upwards and fades to black, and as it fades into darkness and we're sort of sitting there in the silence, these tiny pinpricks of light begin to dot the inky void, and everyone begins to realize that you're staring at a clear, starry night sky. And as we're looking at this, and there's like the absence of sound, and there's just stillness as you're facing this, like the heavens, you start hearing this like, and at first you can't recognize what that sound is. You just, and it starts to become clearer, and you realize it's the sound of massive flapping wings, just rhythmically, just like. The camera kind of pans to the left and then kind of fades back to the right, and a small figure appears far away on like this sort of this dark horizon that we see, and the camera starts speeding towards it, and the figure and it starts to grow larger and larger as it comes into focus, and again that sound of rushing air now has tangible substance, and we, the viewers, see a massive silver bird with a large humanoid perched upon its back. This figure, not as enormous as the bird, but large in its own right, is wreathed in a cloak of feathers and ice, and is clearly in the process of weaving a spell. It pauses momentarily and looks at the camera, and the camera like focuses, and in this moment we see it's not a human, but an abomination, an amalgam of humanoid, owl, demon, and goat. This figure's witcheries continue until the whooshing of the bird's wings are drowned out by the sudden rushing of wind and snow. So all of a sudden, all around you, these winds start whipping up out of nowhere. Greater and fiercer, these forces continue to grow until the camera that we're looking through begins to shake and is thrown down from this height in the sky that it's at. Hurtling towards the ground, spiraling towards impact, we, the audience, make out what looks like settlements. 10 settlements amid the frenetic storm that is more and more comparable to the snow on an old black and white TV. The camera loses sight of the towns and smashes into the whiteness, and again, everything is blank. Welcome to the Forgotten Realms in the year 1489 DR. It is the end of an event known as the Sundering, and the world of Toril seeks to find its stability once more. Wars started during the Sundering have begun to end, and the vacuum has provided various groups the chance to make their moves to secure their influences across the face of the continents. The Arcane Brotherhood, ever seeking new and more powerful magics, sends exploration parties in all the cardinal directions, while the Zentarum, or Black Network, seeks to expand its webs and embed players in every stage and on every continent. Darker powers still start to stir, and with that, other evil plans begin to come to fruition. Several gods now walk the material plane, looking to find their followers and regain portfolios of power. In particular, the gods of chaos have ostracized one of their own, as Umberly, the bitch queen of the seas, has grown tired of Oral the Frostmaiden's freezing of Earth's oceans. Oral, seeking to reclaim her part of the Chaos Pantheon, has decided to create her own realm in the frozen north of Icewind Dale. As such, Icewind Dale has become trapped in perpetual winter. Ferocious blizzards make the mountain passes through the spine of the world exceedingly treacherous, and this land has not felt the warmth of the sun in over 2 years. In fact, the sun no longer appears above the mountains, not even in what should be the height of summer. In this frozen tundra, darkness and bitter cold reign as king and queen. Most Dale residents blame Or, the god of winter's wrath, for this event, and they have started to call it the everlasting. The shimmering aura that weaves its way across the sky each night is said to be her doing, a potent spell that keeps the very sun at bay. Dale folk live in a scattering of settlements known as 10 towns, and the drop-off in caravans coming from the south and travel between settlements in this never-ending winter has left everyone feeling isolated. Each town has resolved to appease the Frostmaiden with sacrifices of one kind or another, but no respite from winter spirits seems forthcoming. For adventurers, such as yourself, 10 Towns is a place to test one's mettle and, in the spirit of heroes who have come before, leave one's mark on this frigid, blighted land. And with that, I think I should probably show you guys a map. You guys will be starting in the largest of the towns, known as Brinshander, right here in the center of the map. But this is probably the easiest and probably the coolest 10 towns map that I have found. Like, all right, let's get this to them so they have this. So now, you guys have started to ask some questions. You've gotten some flavor text, you've gotten some answers. More questions. What do you guys have?
Alright, so do we all know each other and we're like getting into something together, like knowing this? Or is that not yet?
So I think that would be the easiest way to start this, and if you guys want to kind of develop a backstory as you go, kind of like in the pirate game, how everybody's like, oh yeah, we all went to high school together or something like that. So be it. So like I don't want to force anybody to try to immediately come up with a backstory about why you're all hanging out right now. But if it's okay with everybody, I think the easiest way to sort of start this is to say that you're all aware of each other and you're kind of like banded together to try to, either make a name for yourself or maybe it's just so that in the case of Loki, like there's more people to hide behind if somebody notices that their pocket's a little lighter, kind of thing.
And that's true.
I just realized I speak
I mean,
Catholic,
this.
so that's awesome.
You do what?
I speak Catholic.
Okay, awesome. Knowing how we all met or establishing how we all met, I feel like is very important session 0, and I feel like we should try to form that now, because I wouldn't be. I like halflings have like a need for some kind of sense of community, and being here, I would be trying to reach out to get people to hide behind so I can easily steal things and whatnot. And I don't know if anyone has, a drive to adventure, like what's going on here that would force us into adventure, right? There's
Right.
trying to appease the frigid queen.
So
right?
yeah, so like I think so one of the concepts going on right now is so like everybody's basically in quarantine right now, right? Like not quarantined from the other 10 towns, but quarantined from like the rest of the world. So nobody's really getting in, nobody's really getting out. And as such, like trade has slowed, the availability of like food and things to like, keep you warm during the cold nights is starting to add up and starting to like weigh on people's minds. And so in order to be able to feed yourselves, if you're not actively going out and like trying to fish for food, which by the way, fishing is one of like the main fares for food in this area because of the lakes that you're all on. And you'll see on the map that there's like Redwaters, Loch Dinishir, Marjulon, and there's a couple smaller bodies that are recognized as well as being part of this area. And you guys, being from here for some time now, know that the main food source are these fish called knucklehead trout. And why are they called knucklehead trout? Because they're trout. They're big, kind of like hardy trout that have like a reddish tinge to them. But their skulls look like cauliflower to eat. Like if you've ever seen somebody whose like ear has swollen up because of cauliflowerness, the skull of this fish has just gone like whoop, and they're really hard to catch. Then they'll fight like if you've ever like gone fishing for like pike or gar, they'll fight and try to pull you in the water. And several of the lakes, because they're so shallow, have actually frozen in certain points. And so the only way, instead of like fishing boats going out to get fish and bring them in, people are now having to like saw holes in the ice and try to catch fish that way. And so the idea of like, why would you go adventuring? It's because maybe you're tired of just trying to like eke out survival and you want to try to get ahead. Or maybe there's something you want to get and you figure that if you can make enough money, that maybe you can get that, or maybe you can buy passage out, or maybe like whatever, or maybe you can like buy your way into like better digs kind of thing.
Hi, Daryl. Hey, what's happening, guys? How are ya?
Hey, Daryl's here. Nice.
Can I play D&D with you guys?
Yay!
Hey,
We'll
what's
allow
happening?
it.
We'll allow it.
We'll allow it this one time. How has everyone been?
We're doing. I think we're all doing. How about you?
Living the dream, man. It's a whole new dream, but I'm living it, so...
I mean, that's cool. That's way cooler than being like, I don't know. I just ate some. I just ordered and only got one taco. Like that would be a terrible dream. I don't like that dream at all.
No, terrible dream.
I thought I was getting 3 tacos and I got 1 taco. What a terrible thing.
Limited taco dream, yes.
I thought I was getting tacos, but they just threw broken glass in my mouth. I hate it.
Yeah, I didn't know I ordered a broken glass taco.
That was my old life.
Yeah,
The
my
new
old life
life.
was broken glass taco night, and I didn't like it.
Yep.
I didn't like it at all. So anyways, welcome. We were just talking about this region of the frosty north known as Icewind Dale, where this adventure takes place.
Awesome. I have done 0 research so far, so...
Basically, to sum up, everybody who's in Icewind Dale, aka this region known as 10 Towns, which is consisting of 10 towns, is on quarantine.
I gotta say,
from
man,
the
it is
rest
good
of
to
the
hear
world.
your voice again, man. I miss you guys.
Dude, likewise, man. You're always fun. Everybody who doesn't know Daryl, don't worry. You will either find him in fun or annoying and fun, but both at the same time. So,
We'll see how it works. Nice to meet everyone. Who else is here, by the way?
That's a hell of an introduction.
I do what I can. So TJ and Kevin are here.
He's my hype man.
We also have Mike and Chris, who are new players. Well, not
Hey,
new
guys.
players, just new players to this game. So.
I apologize in advance for whatever I'm about to do.
No.
Just know that one of his last characters was known best for cartwheeling, and the other one was known best for jumping out of the window. So, but those are some good standards.
Those are my 2 moves. That's really all I have, so I'm going to do that with this new character, too.
Yeah. And he's going to be a cartwheeling barrel. It's going to be great. So everybody in the 10 Towns region in Icewind Dale is on lockdown because Oral, the
Art imitates
Frostmaiden
life,
herself-
does it?
Yes, it's weird. It is weird. Oral, the Frostmaiden, goddess of winter's wrath, has gotten kicked out of her club. She is no longer officially part of the Chaos Pantheon because some of the other gods were like, "You don't like your shit, get out." And as such, she's like, "Fine, I'm gonna pick this. I'm gonna pick up my stuff, and I'm gonna find a new sandbox. And that new sandbox is Icewind Dale." And so, if you can imagine, like, I don't know, the gods of the fire realm or the fire plane setting up shop in the middle of the Anarok Desert, it's the same idea. Just you have this deity of frost and snow that's like, I need a new playground, and this is it. And all of you mortals, suck it, is basically what's happening. And so you guys are kind of stuck in that shit show. One of the things that we were trying to establish right now is how everybody knows each other, because this being a session 0, we want to sort of iron that out. I was leaning towards saying, like, maybe we can figure it out, but TJ raised a good point and said, since this is session 0, let's why not establish it right now? So, without further ado, what are you thinking about playing? And just so you have some knowledge, right now we have a Kalashite sorceress, a goblin bard that freestyle raps on a regular basis.
Awesome.
Sorry,
That's what I was gonna do. God damn it.
That got changed. Changeling outrolled it.
Oh.
I had a roll off.
Okay.
I'm a goblin
So
bard who freestyle raps.
Yeah, now it's just the Changeling bard. That's Vega from Street Fighter Red Tape outtakes.
You have a claw?
I have a cloud.
Oh.
So we have a changeling. We have a Warforged cleric named
Nice.
Coswallop. I messed up. The sorcerer's name is Nova Cree. Changing Bard, aka Vega, who may be named Vega, may not be named Vega. To be next.
Bard, okay.
A vague.
A Vague, as in I'm a Vega. A halfling rogue named Low-Key Half-Height, who has very sticky fingers. And then whatever you want to bring to the table, sir. What are you thinking?
Okay, so my Thursdays are kind of farked up. I run trivia on Thursday nights, and it's like my big night I have, so I'm going to be here about this time every time. Do they have a Wild Mage type class? Which edition are we playing anyway?
So 5th edition, so 5e.
5th edition, all right.
There is a Wild Mage. We've seen in a different game. We've seen a little bit of that, and that's a riot every time. So if you want to do that, be my guest.
And can we do this? Could somebody have like an anchor point for me? And can I be trapped in the astral plane occasionally? And I pop in and pop out of existence? As a DM, would you accept that? Because that's kind of how I'm going to be playing the game.
I think that's
game.
What?
He's been listening. Yes.
Yeah.
Kevin's character just popped the astral plane in the game I'm running on Saturday.
No shit, huh?
So
threw me off guard.
I think
I'm
it's
sorry.
Actually, I think
No,
that what
that's
we
awesome.
can
How about
say.
the ethereal plane?
Well, so here's the thing: is I think that I can make something work really well with this that we won't reveal right off the bat. But when we start the next adventure, but not the next adventure, but the next night that we start, if you're not here, a thing will occur. And once you arrive, a thing will occur. And what's interesting is I feel I know how I can blend that into the ongoings of this adventure. So not a problem.
In
I
addition,
see a figurine
there's
of
two
wondrous
sorcerers.
power.
Also, two
So-
sorcerers in this party.
That's true. That's true.
Does
So-
Wild Mage work?
Oh yeah.
Your concept?
Well, wait. So I'm saying yeah, but I'm the DM. So it's the players that need to say yes.
Okay.
I think
Wild Mage makes sense, especially if you're going to be popping in and out of existence. It's going to be great.
Yeah, that's what I figured. It might work out okay that way.
yeah, the only.
And you guys seem a little fighter light, but Warforged is pretty solid though.
Yeah. So I think like the only thing is if Mike's cool with having just another sorcerer.
Well, I'm about to go Scion anyways.
Fair.
Nice.
Yeah.
Just a placeholder, right?
Yeah, that's cool. So what race and what name have you thought about for your Wild Mage?
Not anything at all yet. So I am super prepared for this game. Let me tell you.
No. Like, it's. I think that those are decisions that can be made as we move along. But one of the things that is part of this adventure, and some players have said yes, some have not. So you can choose to do what you want with this. This adventure comes with secrets that you can choose to roll for, and if you take, I will tell you what you have, and it may be something bad with good things attached. It may be something that's just bad, and it may be something that, as we found out, may be good, because I've kind of seen a little bit of all of that in the secrets that have been chosen. So, would you be interested in your character having a secret?
Oh, absolutely.
All right. So if that's the case, I need you to roll a d20 and tell me what you get.
Okay, hold on. Am I doing it like an analog D20?
No, yeah, whatever. Whatever
Can I
floats
roll?
your boat. Whatever
Is
floats
this
your
something
boat.
I can roll on Discord?
You can. No, you'd either have to do it and roll 20, or.
Oh, you guys can roll 22? Hold on a second. I can do roll 20. I like roll 20.
I can do roll 20. I'm in.
Man, hold on. I even have it saved. That's D&D Beyond. That's not it. Sorry, wrong one. A D20. There we go. I still have Barovia in here, man.
Yes.
That.
We haven't.
Yes.
It's been a
That
long
was-
time, but still memories.
Maybe I don't have that. It's coming up slowly.
If not, don't
There
worry
you go.
about it, man.
Oh,
If not, don't worry
it's
about
up now. Hold on a second. Where you guys at? For real this time, Frostmaiden Rime. There we go.
Nailed it.
Here we go. Magical. E20 it is. 7. It's the best, isn't it?
Okay. It's interesting. So, Kevin, you want to push me over in a private chat? Me?
So I guess while they're gone, we can try to figure out how we all know each other.
Yeah.
I'm guessing that we're all, like every single D&D adventure, we're all at a tavern or something.
Something like that. I mean, that always works.
Yeah, if they're all in quarantine, we're trying to find a place that's warm and social. Just be like, go there. And I mean, as a halfling, I would go over to Chris's character right away, being like, "Jeepers, mister, you're strong." Or tall. "Jeepers, mister."
And my character just shifted and went to invite the most attractive looking person if they would like to taste the serpent's mouth. So I'm doing stuff.
There right away.
It may be their loss.
Do you want me to join your party? No. Your loss.
I change to this guy, and then I get kicked out of the party and have to go with a goblin because it's better paying.
It's creeping everyone out. Check out this goblin that's rapping. He seems pretty chill.
I still think a king who can only communicate through rap would be hilarious.
Well, I was thinking it might have this goblin related to my 4th edition Goblin Bard. Just create him based entirely on lying, but I don't think he would be as effective as the other one.
I will back you up with your line.
Perfect.
So that is, being a charlatan and putting expertise into that, we can convince people of almost anything.
Yeah, I think that was kind of like what happened where like the two of us got like met each other and then like something must have been said in like halfling and like maybe I heard it, maybe said something else, and then as I'm trying to introduce myself to someone and offer them the serpent, you like, oh yeah, no, he actually did that, and then it's just like, I like this one, and I assume we've been, because I have.
Did we just become best friends?
Right, and then it was just like, wait, are you good at taking things really quickly? Yup.
There we go.
I'm not gonna lie. I think that's like the greatest intro I've ever walked into. Are you really good at taking stuff quickly? Yeah. Nice.
Perfect. Yep.
And I'll just distract him while you take them.
That will contribute to my starting gold. Just all the heists that we've done together. Just very small heists.
Excellent.
Got 15 copper on that one. That's 1.5 gold. Nice.
Starting gold I rolled for got me to 65.
Wow, I knew you were gonna do that. Like, so how does that? So, because I only
I
looked at it
rolled
briefly.
a 1, a 1, a 1, and a 2. So I could have had much more.
Is there a stat for that? The reason I'm asking that is, and like, how did that work? Did you roll for starting gold and then you spent gold on your equipment, kind of thing?
No, you start with your starting equipment, and then like right after in the player's handbook, I think it's like at the very beginning of chapter 5, it tells you your class, and then what you're rolling based off of your
part
class.
too, right?
Yeah, background can contribute more gold, like if you're going to be like a noble or something.
Okay.
Or there's other backgrounds that provide extra gold. That's how I got like 15 or something, and then I rolled 50 as a rogue.
All right. So as a homework assignment for everybody, do starting gold so you have, so you know what you have for monies.
I have the classes right here if you want me to.
I had thought that as you got starting equipment or starting gold. I didn't think it was both, but if it's both, then it's both.
I thought it was either or too, because that's the way it works when you're, at least when I was doing the characters on the Roll20.
On D&D, on D&D Beyond, it says starting equipment or starting gold.
Yeah, that's the way I know it.
Yeah. And I think that makes sense because like it's giving you options to kind of outfit yourself so that you're ready, or you can take the chance of rolling for starting gold and then you have to spend that on the gear that you're going to put on yourself. And just know too that like that
oh, you're right. Yeah, that's pretty dumb.
Well, your first level character, man. Like, if you're a first level character walking into town with 150 gold points, it's like or gold pieces, like how did that work? But whatever. The other thing to think, and so think about what you want to do. So if you want to go with starting gold and then buy your stuff, so be it. If you want to go with starting equipment, but you don't really have any gold, then so be it. But if your background gives you shit, then you get that too. But if you do that, let's get that like set up for next week, so we know what you guys are sort of starting with. But
starting with 15 then.
Okay. So I just want to read you guys a couple things and insert you into a spot, and we'll see how far we get before we've got to call it. And so the other thing I want to read to you guys is some stuff about where you're starting, and that is the town of Bryn Shander. And Bryn Shander, as I pointed out in the map, is kind of smack dab in the middle of all of 10 towns, and was or is the largest of all the 10 town settlements. So Bryn Shander is the best place to find anything in like a commercial setting. So if you guys are looking to like stock up on wares or weapons or stuff like that, this is going to be your best bet. Other towns will have stuff, but there's a chance that they may not have as much, or specific things won't be there because of their sort of like sort of polarity, like how far out they are from the central hub. But Bryn Shander is the central hub. Originally, it was just this modest like hilltop trading town, but it's now become this sort of walled city, and as such, when people started to settle in Icewind Dale, just to give you some history, there was this sort of like massive uprising of orcs in the area that just ravaged all of the outlying Ten Town areas. And the peoples of Ten Town were actually able to come in, fortify, and hold off the orcs long enough for like reinforcements to show up behind the walls that they constructed in Ten Towns. I'm sorry, in Bryn Shander. And Bryn Shander itself now actually has like 2 walls. And to give you a little bit more, because, that's where you guys are, I think I should probably show you what Bryn Shander looks like. So, that's not it. Where is it? Still not there yet. Come on, everybody. There we go. All right. And so this is what Bryn Shander looks like. The map doesn't show it perfectly, but there are actually 2 concentric rings of like stout and sturdy wooden logs that make these this wooden like sort of like barricade that goes all around it. It stands some like 30 feet tall. There are doors in the entryway, so North Gate, East Gate, etc., that stand some 15 feet tall that are capable of being barricaded with iron-bound, like massive planks. And there's actually a rampart that runs all the way around on the upper ring that sentries can control and sort of like keep a lookout into the outside areas. Places of interest are marked on this. So you have Council Hall, you got Stables Town Hall, you got the Black Iron Blades, and House of the Morning Lord. And just so you guys know, for those who have played Barovia, there is some crossover between the Morning Lord and Lathander, but in this setting, Lathander is a different god than the Morning Lord. And so in Barovia, I think at some point we talked about Lathander being Morning Lord. In this setting, they are different gods, and if you were to walk into the House of the Morning Lord and be like, hey, praise Lathander, what the bitches? They'd be like, get the F out. We're not talking right now. So that's a real distinction that you would be aware of in this world. But as many adventurers begin, you guys are starting off in the North Look Tavern, which sits right here. And before I kind of zoom you guys in, have you guys talked a little more about how you all know each other and what your connections are?
Yeah, the 2 short ones came up to me and said, wow, you're tall.
I'm not sure. But yes.
I definitely did that.
So, real quick, Nova Cree is Kalishim? Kalishim?
Alistar.
Kalishtar.
I'm glad I'm not the only one who. I don't mean the race. I mean.
Does that relate to my secret?
No. Nope.
That was not the same place.
No. You were part of a different area that actually has a similar sounding name, but begins with a C instead of a K.
Okay, where am I from?
Your background is from Kalamashan? Yeah, I think I just said that, right?
Kalimshan, that's what I thought you said, okay.
Yeah. Yep.
Alright.
Kalishtar.
If it's okay with you.
What's the matter?
No, I was just gonna clarify. You guys go ahead.
Yeah, no, go ahead. I don't know that much about that, so please fill it.
I'm Kalimshan, but go ahead.
Kalishtar are humans, but they possess a soul of a dreamlike creature called a quarry. So they're naturally telepathic, linked to the dream world. They don't dream, and they have some limited telepathic abilities, but it's an interesting race. I can send you the
please do, because I think that's really one of the things that I put in other games is like characters having dreams, and if your character can't dream, you wouldn't take part in that episode. So, okay, cool. So you guys, so right now it sounds like the three of you kind of bonded enough to make somewhat of a forged friendship. And so we've got the changeling bard, we've got the fortune cleric, we've got the halfling rogue. How about the wild mage and the
I'm actually. Is it okay with you? I would like to switch to a fighter, if that's okay with you.
vastly different, but okay.
That still works in what you wanted for my. Hey, is that okay?
So we're going to go with the same secret background for that. We're going to go with the same stuff that we came up with about that. But
that still works, right?
Yeah, still totally works. I mean, if anything, you're just even that much more confused by what's going on.
Yeah, and also it kind of lines up a little more with the secret thing I have going on with, and the group could kind of use a fighter. So.
Okay. All right. And
I haven't played a fighter in 1,000 years, so.
What like any particular race you're interested in?
Yeah, the Kalimshan, which I believe is human.
Oh, so we'll have two. Okay. Oh, no, I'm sorry.
No, I'm different.
You're choosing the human that's from Kalimshan. Okay, got it. Yep.
I'm from a different location.
Yeah.
I'm from a desert, actually. Swarthian from a desert.
Yep. You are in a
Sarah,
very different location. Yes.
I don't know what you're using to create it, but there's the link in. I just put the link to D&D Beyond, where with all our other characters, if you want to build it there.
You'll have access to more material if you do it that way, Daryl.
Yeah.
Where is he? Where are you?
Right in Discord.
In Discord.
Oh, Discord. Oh, I'm sorry. Okay. Gotcha. With the TJ casting here. Bam. What is this? I'm in. I thought I was in D&D Beyond. Is this a different D&D Beyond thing?
So the link that's in there, if you
Yeah.
click on the link in Discord, it will bring you into a different part of D&D Beyond that'll will let you use TJ's like administrative rights to create a character.
Oh, I gotcha. What do I sign in with? My D&D Beyond account? Probably to a sign-in page.
Yeah, you would
Yeah,
sign
it should
with
be.
yours.
All right.
All right, so Sorceress, have you come up with a way that
beautiful.
you're sort of associated with these guys?
I think that I'm in. I think she's in town right now, trying to figure out her issues that she's got going on, and she's a little distracted right now because all of these thoughts. She's trying to. It's kind of like a hubbub in the background that nobody else can really hear. So she's got two underlying background noises. One that is telepathic, and the other that is. So I think she's just going to kind of pick out pieces of, hey, there's a group there that's sounding like there's might be doing something interesting that might help me.
Okay.
Hey, Avej.
Yeah.
That one over there, that I don't recognize what they are. They kind of look human. We should go over there, and she's wearing like a really weird ring. You see that?
Fuzzy.
Hey,
It's fuzzy.
I've had my eye on her since she has walked in the door.
Okay, let's
I shall introduce her to my mates.
get her to sit down. I wanna check that ring out.
So,
I'm following your lead.
immediately, I regret this character.
You're the face. Come on, of the party. That constantly changes.
So, yeah, I'm gonna go over and I'm going to ask, would you like to taste the serpent smell?
Oh man.
It's a yes/no question. I mean,
She's considering. Relax. Let's not rush her.
I must consider possibilities.
In your head, you not only receive this negative no answer, but it's this feeling of total and absolute abject rejection that you can't exactly figure out why, but you feel like you've just lost 3 years of happiness.
You're lost.
My serpent is not happy.
I'm a bit confused because I didn't hear anything, but I'm like, please forgive my friend. I'm Peter Danklage, and I will put my hand up. And you are? And I'm like putting my hand out to shake.
She takes a look at your hand, and she's not really. Doesn't look like she's going to take it, but she nods, somewhat politely, and says, "My name is Nabakri."
Nobakri, nice to meet you.
And
Please
you
come sit by the fire.
as well, Master Dinklage, and would be happy to. This reminds me of that scene from The Gamers where they bring in a new wizard and they're like, "Okay, guys, let's role play this out." They're like, "Oh,
Join us.
You
He just
Yeah,
gets in
join us.
line.
okay?"
Okay. So yeah. So I think that rather than make this like something that's happening in the moment, I think that we're kind of like all casting our minds back in time to when you first met each other, kind of thing. So this was like your first introduction to everybody because I kind of want to introduce you into a setting as a group. So if you guys want to explore this further and keep like RPing this, like by all means. But if
Is
you're
there
just
a
like
particular setting that you want us to start in, where we summoned by someone?
no, it's just like you got the start of this is that you all find yourself in the Northlook Tavern in Bryn
Oh, perfect.
which is kind of like the one of like the hovels that not hovels one of the sort of warm places or semi-warm places that people gather at night, but either going back to their homes or like shacking up for the night in like one of the sort of bunk bed type settings that is in the Northlook. And so as you guys are a group, I wanted to kind of bring you guys in there. And if somebody was like a noble as their background and they have a house in Bryn Shander that they had, so be it. But this was going to be the start. So you guys all find yourself there, but I wanted to give you guys the chance to kind of like intro yourself. And so I think that like what you guys just did was a flashback to like maybe you were in the Northlook, maybe you were in like a shitty dive bar somewhere, maybe you were wherever, kind of thing.
That's the place you wanted us to meet. I was picturing a tavern anyway to start things off.
So
the way
maybe,
things are going, I was definitely picturing a shitty dive bar.
Yeah.
so I'm like, so there are plenty of shitty dive in and around Bryn Shander. The Northlook is like one of the more up and up taverns, like the sort of like one of the better places to
I'm
be.
voting for that one. Just
All right, and no. What I'm saying is you're going to start in the North, but like the idea of what you guys were just saying, there's no reason we can't say that was the intro conversation between all of you. And I just like maybe the resolution of that was after she robbed you of like I don't know 3 years of happiness or whatever that was. You guys were kind of like, wow, this person has some fucking shit going on, and you were like, hey, we kind of like take shit. Are you into that? And maybe not really, but I'm down. Or maybe like, yeah, that's my jam. Like I was just thinking that like that's like you guys kind of like you had an awkward intro moment, see it, but that like now you're kind of an awkward party if that works. And if you don't want to do that, that's fine. That was what my
just
thought was.
exactly what we did.
Yeah, well, I mean, you have to admit that was the worst pickup line period ever. Period.
Those are a
Pick
lot of very short
I
Oh,
sentences.
disagree.
Period.
Hey, man, you want to see my bum?
All right, and then the last person that, and I imagine that like the Warforged during all of that was just like rolling his metallic eyes back in his head like again, beat.
Yeah, pretty much.
All right, and so
Yeah, I was talking to him the entire time, trying to get on his good side because I'm like, this is great. This guy right here, he's gonna save us.
you, sir, you are great. And then the last person we need to know about is how you guys kind of were introduced to or introduced yourselves to this like desert warrior, desert fighter that that for some reason is also in the frozen north.
More than just a little out of place.
Actually, TJ, you're halfling. Like clearly, you said that you had come here for a reason or whatever it was. But like, did you hail from like a specific region, like from the Sword Coast or the Anarok Desert?
I didn't look up anything specifically.
No, oh, that's fine. I just meant like, so like as a halfling, are you like kind of like are you like pale skinned? Or are you kind of tanned? Are you like
Pale-
are you darker skinned?
Pale
Like,
skinned.
okay. So in a way, you kind of fit right in. And Daryl, your fighter looks very much out of place. Not because there aren't like other people of different skin tones, but it just seems like your tan hasn't quite worn off, if that makes sense.
And I'm freaking cold.
And you're freaking cool. Also, because you weren't here when I said it before, all characters in this adventure start with one set of cold weather gear, free. Like you don't have to spend. So you have that. But shit can go wrong in this adventure 6 ways to Sunday. So if you want to invest in another set, that's not always a bad idea.
I don't know what you guys talked about. I'm nice and toasty.
I don't know why my 2 pinkies have rotted off, but I mean, I'm fine. Totally fine. So like how did that go down? How did you guys talk? And by the way, like Daryl, if you're from like Kalmashan, like that's straight up like Lawrence of Arabia kind of shit, like
Yeah, I'm a desert
generally
boy.
generally speaking, like like white flowing robes to reflect the heat of the sun, turbans, the whole 9 yards. So like, what are you like what are you looking like right now? I mean, obviously wrapped in winter gear, but like
I'm totally wrapped in like 47 furs because I am freezing my ass off.
And he's turning blue.
I'm a little small. I'm a little short. I'm a little swarthy.
Okay. Like
And I'm
Bob
mostly
from
just-
Bob's Burgers.
Ooh, yeah, but not quite as bell-bottomed.
Okay, all right. Mustached, big mustache.
Oh yeah, sweet mustache, sweet goatee. I'm working
Ooh.
it.
Okay, all right.
And some well-groomed eyebrows.
I'm not gonna lie, I love this character already. So I love all of your characters already.
Shit.
Question:
Yeah, so
what are our alignments? Are our alignments generally good?
I went with that.
Good
Yeah.
question.
Well, the reason I'm asking is if we have generally neutral to neutral good alignments, then Novakri can kind of get a vibe that, hey, this is a pretty good group of people, a little rough on the edges, but might be a good group to hang around.
Yeah.
True good sounds pretty solid.
yeah, so nobody is categorically evil, right?
I think I'm more chaotic good, actually.
Okay. And by the way, if you want to be an evil character, I'm not saying no to you. I'm just asking.
One thing I'd like to do, kind of an RP thing, is I cannot get a vibe off of our Warforged since he's not a physical or he's not a biological.
Nice.
I it's kind of like that moment in Avenger or the Age of Ultron. You know, the Scarlet Witch is trying to read off of Ultron, and she can't get anything off of him.
Oh no, I think that that's great. Like I actually, you know, like to Chris's character or to Coswell, just be like, what do you mean? And he's like, isn't it clear? And you're like, no, it's not clear. I don't know what you're fucking saying. Like, what is happening? So I mean, yeah, I think that that's a great RP or just in general. You know, like go left, and then when you go left, you're like, why did you go left? I was clearly being sarcastic. How would I know that? How would I know that that's what you're doing? So yeah, so no, that's cool. So all right, so
I think we met the same way. I think it was probably TJ's character apologizing because once you started talking about groomed eyebrows, I think a vague would have been noticing that on an exotic character. A vague.
So I'm reading Kalishim stuff. It's mostly human. I'm guessing I don't really know what a Warforged is.
I'm gonna say that like maybe you, but like you kind of like
He's a golem. Golem.
Yeah, I mean that makes sense. That would for your mind that would make
No offense.
None taken.
Well, I mean, a Warforged is a construct. A Golem is a construct. I mean, if your character is intelligent enough, construct would be like a construct. So, all right, cool. So everybody has had a chance to like sort of meet and know each other, and so on this cold, snowy, dark night, which is like every other cold, snowy, dark night that has been plaguing this region the last 2, 3, 4 years, you have all decided to take refuge and find some warmth in probably what's known as the best tavern in all of Brinchander, and that is the North Look. One other thing that I did not mention is that it is never brighter in all of Icewind Dale than dim lighting. At noontime, and dim lighting lasts from approximately, I gotta pull this up, where the hell is it? So from, I gotta go.
So we're getting a role reversal.
There, I threw up a couple of pictures of what I was thinking when I was putting them together.
How big is this fucking guy?
Wow, nice.
It is 6'9", 314 pounds.
Jesus Christ!
Okay, so yeah, alright, never mind. I did look up to you and I am the short one. Never mind.
He's a medium.
That's why I said Jeepers Mister.
Jeepers, mister.
Fucking Reinhardt button, in robot form.
I will look this up because I have
Battle chasers.
and I don't have it in front of me right now, so I apologize. But basically, from sunup to sundown, sun never goes above the horizon. Effectively like what dawn or twilight would look like, which is crazy, and somehow is casting magics that cost that much to make that happen. The rest of Toril, sun rises and sets as is, but here in Icewind Dale, the sun rises up, shows up at the horizon, and drops down. And when it drops down, it goes to darkness. And the only time it is not dark is if there is a full moon and a clear night. That is something to know as well. However, her spell that she does every night casts a weird, almost like northern lights glow across the heaven that some say is the trail of her path across the sky every night to continue the everlasting route. So, that being said, and to give you guys a bit of further, stuff to see, let's take a look at what the North looks like. And
I have to say, those birds keep throwing me off. I keep thinking I left the window open.
the birds?
Yeah, the birds
The white
that come in every once in a while. The
Oh,
ambient
the
sound.
crows and the music.
Yeah.
I turned it all down because somebody still had sound their audio up in Roll20, and I was like, I'm just gonna try this. But okay, because I'm like, who the fuck is making bird noise? I haven't heard any of that shit.
Me too.
All right. One of the other things I is pull out tokens because I didn't know what you guys were going to be. But
Right.
I can do that, and I'll have them ready for next week. But you guys find yourself as a party seated somewhere in this area, like not that table, but somewhere in there. There's a few other. There's a few other like patrons, like maybe some fishermen, maybe some people that work the local shops, and they kind of keep themselves. You notice that like one of the most dominant things to see in here is this double-faced fireplace, where the chimney goes up to the roof of the second floor of the north. But on one side, the fire logs burning cascades out, and then you can go to the backside, and it's even more sort of like a nook or cozy over here in front of like a polar. Behind the bar, the bartender, whose name is Scramsax, a human, waits to fulfill what people's orders are, give them what they need, and I'd like everybody to just give me a perception check for shits and gigs. Let's get a couple rolls in before we call it a night.
Nice. Get to rolling.
And if you don't have your character completely D&D or you're doing it yet, just roll a 20, and we'll say give it a +1. You're probably perception
Yeah,
check.
6. That'll do it.
It's gonna be a good game because that's a nat 20.
Oh, bam, bam, bam! We got a 6. We got a 20. We're all over the board.
7. We've
6
got a
or
grouping.
7. Anybody else want to fill in the numbers?
Give me just
12.
a second.
Got a 12. Oh, we got one more. What else we got?
Get a perception.
Yep.
$21.
Wow. All right. Okay. 2 of you, namely the room.
Daryl, you and I.
Unless-
Absolutely. You know exactly
Well,
what's
what
going to
you-
happen now.
What you guys notice is just how nice the fire. Actually, what you, the Warforged, and the fighter, and the and Vega. I'm sorry, Aveg, notice is how nice the fire looks, and you immediately go over to start like warming your hands and just sort of like try to shake off some of the frigidness that the world is creating around you. Novacree and Loki, and I'm trying to learn everybody's names right now. You guys notice that over here on this wall right there is a like fish trophy. You know, the kind of thing like somebody catches a giant, they taxidermy, put it up, and you notice that that it's really large. Like it literally is of the it is worthy of being like something that hangs on a wall. And there's a plaque underneath it, and it is one of these knucklehead trout that I was describing. But there's a plaque that's underneath it that says "Old Bitey," and if this will work, I'm gonna try to. I won't do it that way, so let me do it this way. Close that. Let's. Sorry, guys, this didn't work out as fast as I thought it would.
All good.
All right, so let's see if this will work. All right, so this is what you guys see, and I will do Kevin, click and then Control Z.
Shift Z.
Oh, Shift Z, that's why. So
Ish.
you guys see like massive knucklehead trout that's there, and and when I say you guys, I mean Novacree sees it and Loki sees it. And you guys notice with a 20 plus, because there's a natural 20 plus whatever step is, and a 21, you notice that it seems to move a little bit, like literally like it's almost wriggling a little bit.
Fishy, fishy.
And you also
Snake
notice,
surprise, my favorite.
well, you also notice that there's something that seems to glint in its mouth.
Can I
This
do,
fish is bigger than that bear.
can I get an Archon? Sorry, go ahead.
I'm just going to get this off the map. All right, so
Was that a possum
Daryl,
skin rug?
Daryl, what is? No, wait. Hold on, back up, Daryl. Possum skin rug? What?
Yeah, what is that? So the fish is bigger than that bear skin rug, or is it a possum skin rug? What is that?
No. Like, so this thing on the wall right here represents.
Oh, it's on the wall. Okay, I thought it was on the table.
Yes, the bearskin rug is like taking 10 squares, like 12 squares.
It's
something like that.
huge.
Yes.
I'm sorry, I thought the
Old
fish
buddy-
was on the
yeah,
entire
old
table.
buddy- Old buddy, maybe like 4.5 foot long, but he's not a pole. So
Sorry, I thought it was actual size. I take my D&D very literally.
It's
sorry.
actually the size of the building you guys are in, Old Buddy, right now. You're having a real metaphysical moment. But
What
no,
is this?
So
D&D for ants?
for ants, it needs to
For
be at
digital
least 3
ants?
times larger. So, anyways, you guys. Everybody that's not Novacree and Loki, start like warming your hands. Maybe you're thinking about ordering something from the tap.
Well,
However,
I want to do a Arcana check just to see if this is a magical effect that's moving it, or if it's. I can't tell if it's natural without doing a medicine check, but.
You can do either. You know what? If you want to see if physical, maybe this fish is alive, tack the wall, you do a medicine check. If you want to see if it's somehow magical,
Yeah, I'll do the Arcana.
okay, go ahead.
You don't mind if I do it off of D&D Beyond?
No. If you want to roll in D&D Beyond, roll like analog type.
Yeah, no, I can't tell whether it's magical or not with a 5.
With a 5, you get the feeling that there's something mystical, but you don't get much more than that. TJ, what do you do?
I go up to the bar for a closer look.
So just so you know, bar is right here. So if you're gonna order a drink, fish
that was
is
behind the
right
bar.
here. Yep.
Oh, then
He got the feet
I
that
go up
lets him
to-
see from real far away, so he wants to go on the bar. So he can get
What I
a
want to
better
do
height.
is I'm gonna whip out my telescope, stare at it.
Easy.
Would you like to see how the snake bite? No, get away from it. So all right. So TJ, you're going up to it.
yeah,
All right.
I'm gonna try to get a closer look.
All right. So you start to come up to it, and are you gonna go right up to it, or are you just gonna try to be like, hey man, what's going on with that fish over there? What are you doing?
This is propped up on a wall, right?
Yeah, like
Or-
think like a trophy. It's home, like
And there's someone guarding it. Who would I ask?
No. I just meant like there are people at these. People, because I didn't know how far we'd get tonight. But
Okay.
But like the thing is on the wall and nobody's around it, so you could clearly walk up to it. It's maybe like 4.5, 5 feet up on the wall, so you might have to like stand on your tippy toes if you're going to touch it. But like you can go up to it and look.
Yeah, I'm just gonna go up to it, look at it now.
All right, so you get up to it, get a little closer, and as you get closer, it seems to stop moving. Like what you saw, like a sort of doing it stops moving. But it you still see that there's like this, like it's, you know how in classic anime style, like when the bad guy or the good guy smiles, they glint off the like wing. Like you still notice that there's something seems to be reflecting light that's in the mouth of this fish that is doing that. But it's you know that the only reason they is because your eyes are like so attuned to look for shit like this.
All right. In that case, I will turn around and grab the most available chair I can, and then drag it over.
Okay, as you start to walk away from it, the fish like almost animates like an animatronic thing, and it goes, "There's a place I like to go, farther up the river's flow. I do not know, must be under all that snow."
Great, we got Billy Big Mouth.
Stops moving.
Okay, what was that? What was that again? That tone? You can say it instead of singing it.
Can I? I feel I have to say no. So it says, "There's a place I like to go, farther up the river's flow. Where it is I do not know, must be under all that snow." And from like across the bar, you hear somebody just be like, "Shut the goddamn fish! Sick of hearing."
I'm on it, and I'm dragging the chair over.
Right, so you drag the chair over, like pop it on the wall, and what are you doing?
Investigating whatever's in its mouth.
Okay, so you climb up on the chair, and you see that there's clearly something metallic in its mouth, and as you kind of like get closer, I assume you kind of like start to reach for it or try to get it out, or what are you doing?
Yeah.
Yeah, so as you reach for it, I'm going to need you to give me a reflex check. No, I'm sorry, a dexterity saving.
Can I be like approaching, but I'm like trying to keep him from reaching it, but I'm never going to get to him. I just want to pretend like I'm trying to get to him.
Yeah, that's fine. Like you like see him drag the chair, that classic like drags the chair across, puts against the wall, and everyone like some people are noticing you like anybody who's kind of noticing like the bartender kind of hears, looks up but doesn't really think much of it, and all of a sudden this halfling is standing on a chair. You still got to reach up a little bit to get to the fish, but all of a sudden is like reaching at the fish's mouth, and right as he's reaching for the fish's mouth, you see the fish kind of go like and like turn and its jaws open, and you're like, no, there's no. And so TJ, reflex, dexterity saving throw. Sorry,
15.
15 is enough. That right as you start to go, it snaps, and you pull your hand back, and you can rush of air near your fingertips, and you're like, holy shit! And that's when Scramsax, the bartender, just goes, "Hey, you! Get away from my fish! What are you doing? That's not yours, that's my fish!"
Told to turn the fish off.
Fish sings. It's its thing. Do you want a drink, or are you gonna get out?
Did I not get anything?
So you were not able to get anything, because as you reached in, you pulled back. However, if you want to try to do a sleight of hand, knowing that the fish has a like reaction when you get close to it, again, dead stuffed fish, so some sort of magical thing happened, you can try to do a sleight of hand to get whatever is in its mouth out. However, know that whatever your sleight of hand is probably going to have to roll both against the fish and against Scramsax, because he's
Barkeep! Barkeep! I would like to serve your fine beverages. Should I please have something to drink, please? Is there anyone who can serve me? And I will bang on the bar.
Scramsax like looks at the halfling and kind of like quickly like eyes bead over and sees this turban fighter. I imagine like you take off that like Russian like raccoon hat and there's a turban underneath it. You're just
absolutely,
like,
yes. It's definitely a possum hat, but yes.
Yes. And it's a possum hat, thank you. And so like you take it off, you put it on, and he kind of is like, and he looks back at the halfling and what do you want? Halfling, get off that chair. And TJ, you notice as he looks towards Daryl's character, who doesn't have a name yet.
Ken?
What is my name? Fuck it. It's Zahir.
Zahir.
So, question. Can I use a minor illusion to disguise the halfling reaching for the fish?
I will say if you want to use a minor, you'll give him a circumstance bonus +2 for his sleight of hand.
Yeah, I'm just casting a minor illusion where it just looks like he's just standing on the chair, suitably.
I'll tell you what. Since you guys are don't metagame too much, but you guys are a team, so figure out what you want to do. I'm gonna go use the bathroom and come back and let's see how this ends up.
Doing a quick inspiration.
I'm banging on the bar, and I want to get some drink. I'm gonna pee too.
I see that look in your eyes, and I'm just like, all right, here you go, boom.
I'm confused because I'm like, I don't think I had a chance that first time to even get it. I just had the deck save.
Yeah.
So shouldn't I have the sleight of hand with the deck save?
I think now that you know, it's more of something where it's like you're trying to get in and out, so it's not just like you're reaching in for something shiny. It's I'm reaching in to grab it and pull pull this out. Kind of like in Indiana Jones, where it's like instead of just grabbing the gold, it's you're switching, sort of thing. Like, because you know what's going on. I think is the logic there.
So I'm gonna need to do both, huh? The deck save.
Now it sounds like it's just a sleight of hand.
Hoping so.
Yeah. Well, I think it's if you do well enough, you'll grab it and have no sweat.
The deck save was just because you didn't expect it to snap at you.
Right. In this particular case. But I threw an inspiration because I saw that you were just like, yeah, I've seen that look.
Yes, sir.
And I think this is interesting enough that to keep it kind of distract the guard away, or the barkeep away.
Okay, so TJ, to answer your question, your fellow players nailed it. Like that first time, you weren't expecting the fish to bite your hand, so you if it was just reach for it and the barkeep was like get away from it, I would have totally given sleight of hand check. But because you weren't expecting it, your options were, and I didn't give you your options, but if you were like I'm reaching for it no matter what, you could have tried to grab it. If it bit your hand and you had to figure that out, I would have given you the sleight of hand to pull it. But your reaction was good enough; you didn't get hurt. When you went back in, all this shit happened. So, so minor illusion is going to give you a +2 circumstance. Daryl being Daryl, aka Zahir
Darrell.
being Zahir. Darrell being Zahir.
I am distracting.
You are actually. You know what? Give me a performance check. It's not a high DC, but give me a performance check.
Well, actually, I have a character sheet now.
Well, and again, worst case scenario, just roll a d20. Okay.
Apparently, I have +1 performance, so apparently it's not related. I can't really click on. It's not working. Something's wrong. But anyway, here we go. Whoop. D20. Bam. Yeah, give me a 19.
Okay, so +2 from that, so you have a +4 to this sleight of hand. And then Kevin, you said you were casting inspiration.
He's inspired.
So that means he has what, a d6 he can potentially add if.
Yep.
Okay, all right. So TJ, sleight of hand check. You've got a +4 on this on top of.
Look at me! Look at me!
However, it will be opposed. It will be opposed by the fish's snapping mouth and the observation of the bartender.
Well, with those additions, that's a 20. Haven't used the inspiration.
All right, so the 20 beats the fish. And I just rolled for the bartender, for Scramsax, giving him a commensurate amount of skill points, and he rolled an 18. So you are successfully able to get out of the snapping mouth before he looks back, and he's just like, "Hey, Halfling, what did I say? Get off that chair. Don't touch old Bitey. That's my fish.
Barkeep, I have money.
Kind of
I have a powerful thirst.
He kind of harumphs and comes over. Daryl, give me a perception check.
Perception?
Yeah.
I have a mighty -1 on that.
It's not a high DC.
How about a 5? That must be great.
That's not a high roll.
It's not a high roll at all. So you just see like you just see a person. Something else to note, like, so when you're in a setting like an indoor setting in all of 10 Towns, you have the best chance to make perceptions about NPCs, like what they're capable of, like maybe what they're connected to, because when you're outside in the frigid weather,
Wind, snow, garbage.
everybody's wrapped up, and so there could quite literally be monsters in your midst that you have no idea about, because everybody is so like just covered it from head to toe in what will ever provide a break from the cold. So just something to think about, something to know about.
Gotcha.
And so TJ, do you want me to tell you in front of everybody what you just found, or do you want to do it privately?
You can tell in front of everyone.
Fine. Keep your secrets.
Keep your secrets. You have found a gold ring with a strange symbol on it that looks like a fish hook, some waves, and lines that may represent a lightning bolt. But you're not sure. And it's like a signet ring, almost like one of the rings that somebody would use to like press into a wax seal when they were sending something to say that this is from me, kind of thing. The gold ring itself, probably worth somewhere between like 20 to 30 gold to the right button. It's very good craftsmanship. Very much has like a heavy weight to it. Like it's definitely something you'd sell. But you don't know much more than that. However, this is one of those things where, as you are a resident of the 10 Towns area, you can make an intelligence check. This will be a really high intelligence, but you could make an intelligence check to know more.
Is it still attached to the finger that the fish bit off?
It is not. It was in sort of like the mouth of old Bitey, like almost the throat. He reached in and grabbed it right before those two, like, sort of like, it was almost like a parrot beak snapped around his fingers. Kind of.
So a straight intelligence roll?
An intelligence roll, actually, because I don't think you, or did you use inspiration?
Haven't used inspiration yet.
You could use that on this.
And I can choose after I see the roll, right, Kevin?
Yes, before you get the result, but before you get the result, but after the roll.
What is it, a D4?
D6.
D6. Alright, I might as well use it on this one, even though that's pretty high, but you said it's very difficult, so with the inspiration, that's a 25.
Holy shit.
Ice.
I didn't think that anything. But as you're looking at this ring, I imagine like you kind of like the chair back so the bartender stops yelling at you. But you look down and you see the ring. First thought is like, oh shit, this is worth it. But then you're looking at this symbol, this like hook, the waves, both. What the fuck is this? Like, I know what this is. And I know that there was something connected to old Bitey about this. And then you realize that many people came, like, before this whole everlasting rhyme started. This was like the fish of legend. Were a fish that many fishermen of 10 Towns went to go catch in in the sort of like the locks and locks. And this particular fish was known to be in Dualdon before, and so, but eventually was caught by a human rogue, Kintyre, and a druid who called himself Maverick. It took the aid of a druid to catch this like epic fish, and so they brought Old Bitey to the north in the hope of having it cooked. But Scramsax said, "No, I will. I'm going to buy it from you and hang it on the wall because it's, local legend kind of." However, I have to pull. I'm sorry. I have to turn. Not right next to each other. However, it is a signet ring to a family Brethel. So Brethel. And this family has sort of fallen on hard times. Obviously, everybody's in hard times because of what the Frostmaiden is doing to 10 towns and all of Icewind Dale, but also because they can't prove their lineage and because this signet ring was lost in like the last patron of the family's bid to catch this fish. And so what you want to do with it is up to you, but you know that either the family will pay a hefty price for this, or that the family might be willing to give in some other way if you can do this, if you can. However, the family is in Bremen. One of the 10 towns is called Bremen.
Okay. I'll put it on for now.
Yeah, so you put it on, there's nothing, some serious bling on your finger. Like I said, depending upon I would probably get somewhere between 20 and 30 for it. But you also know that you could effectively have some serious clout with the Brethel family that has fallen times, that is in Bremen, should you go and have a conversation about this with them.
Cool.
All right. As that is all, the front door opened in the Northlook, which is this, but which is right here, and you'll see that, like, for most places, what you do now, so that like you don't let the heat up, kind of, before you close the other door. It like like the airlocks, and 3 stocky figures bundled in cold weather stumble into this bar. They have snowshoes slung over their back, ice picks fastened to their belt that have been sharpened to a keen edge. 2 of them have very clear, thick beards hanging out from underneath goggles and cowls. The third, who does not have a beard, raises a hand and says through a thick wool scarf, "Wilmot, I'm Haruna. These are my friends, Corks and Storm. We need help, and you look capable." And she's pointing toward the 3 people who are still standing, or the 2 people that are still standing by the fire, which at this point would be the Warforged and the Shape Changer.
Yes.
Oh, if there's a fire, I'm standing next to it.
Well, you ran
Right.
up and grabbed a beer, came back. So there's 3 of you. So there's a fighter and a changeling,
Yes.
and this figure.
Human currently.
It looks, the figure looks stout, stocky. You're gonna make a guess, probably a dwarf. Came like they walked in, kind of like cold door slammed behind them. Wind kind of settles down. the heat resumes, the halflings over pocketing or donning their treasure. The sorceress is somewhere like, I'll have to check in with him later about that. And the sorceress kind of turns and sees this, but because the three of you are standing, this figure points towards you and says, "Are you interested in helping?"
Well, my friend, what do you need?
I,
Are you
I-
injured? Are you hurt?
I was gonna say, I think she's talking to you. Hold on, Codsworth.
Codswallop.
Codswallop. I have to find it, then I can read it. But yeah,
Chris,
Oh,
yeah,
God.
Chris, was it Codswallop?
Yep.
Yeah. All right.
all right. I was way off. All right, so I think she's talking to you, or he. I can't
And-
tell under
and,
those
like-
robes.
And she's like, "I was speaking to the three of you. You're a party. Are you not?" Sorry, she's very raspy. She's very raspy. She's very parched. She doesn't have
Maybe too many herring.
You eat too much fish. You talk.
You watch
Also,
This Is Us too much.
Also, my cat just took the worst smell of shit. It's radiating.
There's, like, it depends. Like, what are you looking for?
Go to get her a drink.
I'm parched. Get me a drink. So, she's like, "We're the survivors of a group of dwarves. He gets to Brishan. A Yeti surprised us and killed him. The rest of us fled as the Yeti tore Umbuk limb from limb. Now we need someone to go back and get the sled. As payment, we'll offer each of you a gemstone worth." You, like in typical dwarf fashion, is counting on her fingers and kind of looking at you. A gemstone's worth 50 gold. The friendship of the dwarves of Icewind Dale can also be these harsh times. You'll need snowshoes to make the trip in good time, if you so accept. Also, I'd like the three of you to give me perception checks. Actually, everybody
What
except...
is a Yeti?
Wait, everybody who's not... I will answer that. Everybody who's not the half, everybody who's not low-key, so the sorceress can do this as well. Give me a perception check, and let me know if you get higher than a 10.
Yes.
Okay, that's one yes.
And
Yes, I got a 13.
Yes. Nice!
what was I gonna say?
Chris?
Yes.
Yes. All right, and then
Oh.
sorceress?
18.
Okay.
I was gonna just mention that there are more of us.
She kind of, like, she hears that, and then you see her, running a kiss in her mouth. That means I'm gonna have to fucking pay.
Where's my
That's
lady?
fine. That's fine. You know what?
Count
It's
your
fine.
fingers.
Yeah. Like, but she's counting on her toes, her hairy toes.
Yeah, there's 9 of
She-
us. So
Yeah. She's like, I need to see each of you. But anyway, get me a drink, please.
yeah. Hey.
Wait. Before we do anything else, I want to tell you what your perception check saw. Each of you saw that on some article of clothing that they had was on the ice axe or a shield or like a patch on a shoulder that they bear the symbol of the Battlehammer clan. The Battlehammer clan is a symbol of a large tankard, like a frothy tankard that has like foam overflowing. And anyone who's familiar with this lore knows that the Battlehammer clan is lorded or lairded over by Brunner Battlehammer, which is like one of the compatriots of like Dritstower, and one of like the celebrated heroes
Guys.
of the realms.
From Calamsham makes no sense to me.
Actually, no, that's not true because
Learn things?
the exploits of if you ever, and this is not required reading, but if you guys ever have like one, I think that's just a great. The Icewind Dale trilogy is the.
Oh, I've read them.
Yeah,
Read it.
the first saga of like the Dritstower story, which is a
Ben's and
great
Berenson
intro.
ones are awesome too.
Yeah, it's a great intro to like things from and like this character story. But one of like the last one is like the Halfling's Gem, and the Halfling's Gem takes part in Kalamazhan. So like,
That's right. That's absolutely right.
boom. So, anyways,
Boom. I know this. Fucking halfling.
However, if anybody has read the story, myself being two people that have, the current events that are happening are taking place 100 years after the events of the Crystal Shard book. So if you read the Crystal Shard, just
like an
know
afternoon
that
for
that's
an
a
elf.
hundred. It's a century. So, all right.
Elvish afternoon.
Yes. So, Kevin, I'm sorry I cut you off. You were asking or saying something.
Probably.
I wanted to know what a Yeti was.
I don't remember what I was saying.
She kind of looks at you, and snow beasts that like are capable of just like emerging out of blizzards and ravaging foes and then disappearing again. They were invisible into the snows and they're like large humanoid with sharp fangs, nasty pointed teeth and claws. But you
Sounds
kind of
terrible. Why would you fight with them?
I will.
She's
I
like,
will put my hand on his shoulder and speak to her in Dwarven and say he's new here.
It's funny because I
Well
was
played.
just about to say, oh, you know what, Zahir, you were just really good at getting a drink. Would you mind Would you grab them drinks? They need a drink.
Huzzah! Drinks for everyone!
okay.
Get some drinks.
All right, you can get some drinks. He's like, oh, get some drinks. And like Scrimsax is just, hey,
Please have a seat.
So all right, so you guys kind of like go to it, and like there's the large table that's right. Whatever, you can go. But she kind of continues. She's just know. I'm sorry, because she doesn't have a beer yet. She's just like, just know, if you're capable of helping us get these iron ingots back, that not only will the battle hammers owe you a debt, but that the local armory will probably cut you a solid deal on things and stuff. We just really, and at which point, like, there's like a just sort of like porter that comes over, and she's like, gom, 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 and she's like, just know that if you get this done, that we, the battle, that we will owe you a debt to beyond. Can you help us?
Sure.
Yes, as I said, there are 9 of us.
And she goes, and as I said, I would like to see each of you.
Oh, there. Some of them are outside.
Freezing to death. You know what? Deception check. Do a deception check.
Oh, good. I was like, wait a second. This is wrong. And I clicked on Daryl's character. I was like, wait,
This
that
is
should
not what
definitely be higher than this. Alright, let's see here.
Oh, man. You aim high.
No. 4. It was only a 10.
All right, I rolled a 23 total. And that was with my bonus being commensurate to this character's level, kind of thing. So
Yeah, I rolled poorly.
So she says, I don't believe. However, I do realize that there are probably more what I'm looking at. So please have all your party come and speak to me at this table, if you are all here.
Yeah,
And
well,
I will make
all right,
I will
I'll
make
get-
this
I'll
offer
get
to I will
what
make
who
this
we
offer
have
to any
right now.
here tonight.
But the drinks.
No, she's like, I will make this offer to not those who might join. That is up to
All
you.
right.
to
Well, I
decide.
mean, the ones who aren't here missed out. I understand opportunity when I see one, and
No. I just the way that you said that was so like forlorn. Like, okay, they're gonna lose.
yeah. Well, I mean,
Great.
it's on them. I mean,
Yeah. So
I will go
she-
fight these Yetis. Aziz?
Yeah.
Yuppies. I will fight the yuppies.
She says she's like, sir, I don't think that the Yetis.
No one calls him that. Don't.
I'm sorry, man, guy, dude, gentleman,
Sir.
I identify as
Hey,
they.
buddy.
they. I do not believe that the Yeti will still be there, but because the Yeti has no need for the ingots. But the four of us, tired, no provisions, and battered as we are, and you notice that like clearly are bearing like the signs of like heavy wounding and marks. And as you look, you see, although she's like keeping this up and having this conversation, there's like a dry trickle coming down somewhere right on the side of like her eye, and she's just like, we need to rest to recuperate, and we're not like PCs who heal immediately over. And so she's like, if you can do this for us, please. As I said, not only will make sure that the Battlehammer tribe knows of your deed, but also that all of those who support will provide you what aid they can. And, of course, the gold that we have promised, which is a gemstone for each of you worth 50 gold pieces.
Ooh.
Yeah, and I at this point waved over, the two wanderers who noticed the fish.
Hey, fish guys, come over here.
Hey, you two,
and-
papa. Haha.
And so she basically
The big guy
Yes,
got us a
do-
job by being huge.
with with directions, like approximate directions on how to get back to the sled. And the mission directive is to bring the sled back. That being said, she's like, the sled is heavy and will probably take a long time to get back here. Not like a long time, like multiple days, but several hours to slug it back. And she doesn't know what dangers will be involved to get there. But she basically provides you a map of how to get there, like landmarks and sort of like clearly defined things. Like walk forward, keep this mountain peak on your right. You'll see the start of like this forest right here. Don't ever veer beyond, kind of thing. And so, like you guys feel pretty confident after conversations with her that you can find where this was. Now, what you'll find there, what has happened, that's to be determined. Do you guys accept this?
Yeah.
Yes, I will kill some yuppies.
Some yuppies. I will kill some goddamn yuppies in SUV. That's cool. But what you guys should probably do, one of you should probably do, if you want to nominate whoever's going to do it, is this quest is called the aka the battle hammer like symbol. So if you want to write foaming mugs quests, you in that journal that we talked about at the beginning, that will be there so you can remember for future reference. As that's being said, I imagine like shit, when you turn the page, Nova Cree, they just call you that. I'm sorry, Cree, are you like sitting at the table or arms crossed? Like, well, how are you?
Right now, my last action was to reach forward to try to keep our rogue from getting the fish, but I think after that I just kind of make my way back to the group and sit down.
All right, so you sit down. As you're sitting listening to all of this, you feel like a light tap on your left shoulder, which is like the shoulder that's away from the party, and it's not like it's like a kind of like a soft like just soft tap. And as you turn, you see this small it's still huddled in like furs and like liniments and what, and you can't quite make out what it is. And I know that's probably incredibly racist in the time we live in right now. This is fucking fantasy, and there's a lot of shit. Like, one of your players was going to be an elephant man, so deal with it. You're not sure what it is, but it goes, "I need to speak with you. Will you meet me on the other side of the fire?" And like stands up suddenly, and disappears through the crowd, but you can see it like away to the other side of the fireplace, like around that back corner.
Okay, can I... One sec here. Can I establish a mind link with her?
Yeah, I mean, like, what are the parameters for being able to do? Like, just that you can see them, or that you...
When you're using mind link to speak telepathically to a creature, you can use your action to give that creature the ability to speak telepathically with you for 1 hour.
Okay, yeah, no. So in that case, yeah, do it.
So I'll go ahead and set up the... well, one sec.
So I imagine, like, you do that, and the response that you get is, you imagine that this person turns around thinking that, like, what do you need to tell me? That you're standing right there, that you would immediately, but she turns around there, and she's just like, what? Where are you?
I have to be within 10 feet of them, so I kind of follow her back.
Oh, okay, so, all right.
I know that she's wants to keep this discreet. I mean, obviously, so this is probably the best thing. So I tell her in her mind, you know, this is a private conversation. I'm speaking to you telepathically. Yada yada yada.
Okay, and so I imagine like you see her like almost turn around, because you're establishing that she's running, and she kind of turns and like almost like, what is happening, and like kind of like nods, and you can see like she's got these bright, almost like steel blue eyes that like are like looking at you out from like the cowl that she's got, and she's just like, okay, and like as she turns the corner, anybody who's perceiving this or not, you see that like she takes one off, and you see this like auburn hair that's like braided into like 3 thick braids coming down her back, just sort of disappears around the corner. And so you're gonna follow her?
Yeah.
Okay. Does anybody else want to do a perception to follow this, or are you still engaged in the conversation about getting money, getting paid?
Yeah, I'm gonna say, well, he's still. I'm sorry, she still counts. She was here. I mean, you did see her.
She was here. You saw her.
So, I mean, that counts. Obviously, just make it sure
and like.
Oh, if it's a lady, I'm noticing.
Oh, well, give me
By that,
Hey, if
I
you're,
mean
if
19.
you're making the deal.
Natural 20.
Let's do. Oh, Jesus Christ! All right, so let's do 2 things. First of all, the woman who has been speaking to you now speaks a little this instead of like this. Is she introduces herself as, and that is HRU.
Good
And
stuff.
as she like gets a little bit more, you see that she like takes her like possum hat off, and on the side of her head, that there isn't that trickle of blood, where the hair is pulled back, you see that there is like an ear missing, and as she takes her gloves off, you see there are 2 fingers that are like rotted off from like frostbite, and
Unsymmetrical. Blech.
and she's like, yeah, and it's not like I lost 2 pinkies. One hand doesn't have a ring finger or a pinky, and you're like, oh man.
But she's a woodshop teacher.
But you also get the feeling you don't want to fuck with her. Like she done it like this. Now she's talking like this, but she definitely makes it feel like she's ready to like handle herself.
Yeah. He gives you the finger, you get it.
You don't get the fingers because I don't have. You get the axe. That's what you get. And so you guys can. But I want to give you guys the chance to kind of notice what the sorceress is. And are any of you concerned to the point that you?
Well, I ask if she needs aid.
Creed, you answer.
I don't know. I think I don't even acknowledge them as a party yet. I mean, we're still within like an hour of meeting each other.
No. That
was
was
a little bit ago.
that was like a flashback. You guys are.
We've known each other for a bit now.
Okay, so
Here's your ear.
So who's next to me?
Everybody, I think at this point, everybody is table. There are 3 or 4 dwarves, each of them looking very haggard, pitching this thing to you to get these ingots back. And then your party is there, various levels of drinking, or holding things mischievously to themselves. And that was when you get that tap on your shoulder.
Okay, then I'm going to whoever's next to me, sitting on the table next to me. I'm just going to kind of put a finger on their hand and lean over and whisper something like, "I'll be right back."
Do me a favor and roll a d20.
Just a straight up D20.
D20, tell me you get.
16.
16. Do you want high or low?
High.
High. Okay. You lean over and you whisper to Loki, and Loki kind of nods, and then I assume kind of like keeps one eye on in case that there's some sort of mischief or money involved. I want you to know that if you had chosen low and you rolled high, I was going to say Zahir was going to yell out, "Looks like Kree's going to go take a..." So,
I would totally do that.
Yeah, exactly. So, I feel I'm getting your... So, you stand up, you kind of make mention, and TJ, not only do you notice, but you know that she's leaving. So you kind of keep an eye on it, and if you want to do something, let me know. But if not, you're sort of engaged in the, let's make a contract and make some kind of thing. Mike, you walk around the corner, and as you come around the corner, you see that this is a young, and the reason you realize that is as she's gotten closer to the fire, chairs on the other side. She's sort of taking up, because wintertime, don't wear your warm shit inside, get warm inside, put it up outside. And she looks at you and she's like, I couldn't help but notice that you are more inclined toward party.
You are totally.
I'm looking for help. Say it again, sorry.
You're totally breaking up there. I didn't even get what race she was.
Taking her robes, taking winter robes off, just in battle gear kind of thing, but taking the winter gear off. And as she turns and sees you, she starts to speak out loud and then stops, and you see her her brows furrow, and she's trying to speak to you telepathically, and she just is and do you want to do this privately, or do you want to do this so people know? It's up to you.
It's not something I need to keep secret from them, is it?
It's up to you. This is something you've been singled out for, so if you want people to know, no. If not, then not. So, up to you.
Well, why don't we go ahead and do this? I need to get to bed anyways, so if you just want to tell me outside of this, then we can pick it up next time.
Alright, perfect. Alright, then we'll do this. Remind me at the beginning of next session, so next Thursday, and I will break this down for you. But as of right now, it looks like the party has engaged in a contract to go help the foaming mugs, the battle hammers, regain some loot for some coin, and we will deal with what Mike is doing, and that is that. So,
Awesome.
welcome to the Frostmaiden's Rime, and may you all make it to level 12, which is what this adventure is supposed to do for you all, and
Nice.
not die along the way. So, good job, everybody.
I can
And-
make them as fast as you can kill them. So.
I know, you can. But also, if you guys have like questions, concerns, or ideas, reach out to me. Let me know during the week. But next week, when we pick up, what we will do is we'll make sure that we sort of jump right into the adventure because you've accepted it. We'll figure out a few things right at the start, but also we'll do maybe during this next week either like email or just a private message back and forth between Mike and I about what this conversation he's having with this dwarf. All right.
Sounds good.
Guys, so good to see you
All right.
again. Other guys, great to meet you guys. Fantastic as always. I missed you a bunch, man.
So same to everybody. Chris, I'm so happy that you're playing with us. I hope you're not disappointed by stuff and things. Daryl, at some point, what I'll do is, at some point, I'll have to read to you the intro speech that I did for the beginning of this adventure, just because it's
Awesome.
it's pretty dope, and or I thought it was. And
Get you some background and character concepts too.
Yeah, cool. Well, during this week, let me know, and we can have like either a phone call or something like that. And
Awesome,
then
pal.
anybody who's got to sign off. And then Kevin, can I touch base with you briefly for 1 sec? But I got to mute for a moment. So if you got to sign off, and then we'll chat from there.
All right, guys. Toodaloo. We'll see you next week.
All right, later. Nice meeting you all.
Nice meeting you as well. See you next week.
All right, dude, you still there?
Yes.
Cool. I just wanted to like touch base with you because I had never run like a session 0 before and say like, what did you think? Was that cool? Do you feel like you've got a good starting point? Like, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, it's just kind of getting the all the stuff out of the way where it's like, hey, rather than kind of well, what are we doing? How are we? Like, this is where we can ask those questions because it's not necessarily like a big, hey, we're jumping into the adventure. It's with the knowledge of, like, we don't even necessarily have characters, so we don't know. It's like my character could have met these guys this way, or this way, but if I'm choosing this character, then none of those work. So it's like, yeah, just being able to know that it's like, yeah, everyone was aware that it's like we're getting into it, just kind of jumping into it to start it off a little bit and all that sort of thing. And so, we got that kind of squared away, got the introductions out of the way, basically that it was just like people were, attractive enough or well-groomed enough where my character introduced himself and then got rejected, and then TJ swoops in and befriends them to make them part of the party. So we got it out of the way in the most uncomfortable way possible. So
yeah, like why
so
not?
It's like,
Just,
come on. It's like the only one that he didn't try and hit on was the big fucking giant robot. That was just like, I'm not. No. I'll go for the psychic girl again, potentially. And she took off fucking 3 years of happiness. Dude, this guy's a fucking giant robot. So yeah, it was good. It was getting us there, and then we're introduced so that next week it's not going to be like an hour before we start into anything. It's we know what's going on. We can just go. Yep, put our cold weather gear on, and let's get to it.
Yeah, cool. That's what I wanted to accomplish. I just like some